Fellow congregation members of the church, all people do this devil as an evil, rotten, decrepit, low down, despicable, phenomenal monster. I realize that monsters like this do not have a place in heaven. And I also realize that hell simply will not have them because they don't want a motherfucker like this trying to take over. Pardon my language. Let him mock this shit.
Another beautiful day to be a raider, draped in the silver and black. I represent the shield. I represent the swords. It's that time of night again, Raider Nation. And we come back. Why? Because it's time. It's time to bring the...
What's up, Raider Nation? I am the Commish, coming to you live from Hardcore Challenge Live Studios. And where is that at, might you ask? The same damn place it always is. Deep behind the enemy line. And tonight, as we will for, hopefully, a while on Thursday nights, I'm going to have the captain joining me in studio. So, on Thursday nights, now you have the Commish and the captain.
And that's not a bad way to do your Thursday night. You know, if you're ending your Thursday night on the East Coast or you're just starting to hit into the wee hours of the early evening out on the West Coast, it's a good thing because you got the Commish, who's a wild and crazy guy. And
I'm a little wired.
You got Yar! You got me too.
So,
and I'm an ornery bastard.
That's right. So we've got all kinds of fire on a Thursday night for you. All kinds of fire. Thank you, CL, and thank you everybody else for joining us. Please share it up. Get it out there. This is our new Thursday night lineup on Raider Reaction. So let's get right into it, Captain, because we had obviously the biggest news of the day, or within the past couple days, which I don't know how big a news it is, but Coop is out with the ankle.
Yeah.
He came back too early to begin with.
Well, here's the thing, though. I mean, when you saw him in there, it was actually a good sign that he was playing against Kansas City. That was the good thing. Hey, let me ask you guys a question. If you have a very important asset of your offense that comes back for a game, and you know that he's just coming off an injury, why in the hell are you having him as a lead blocker for a run? That's how he got injured again? That's stupid. And you know who called that play? And we're going to get into that as well in a little bit. Some dude named TD. Todd Downing.
He's been on everybody's tongue in Raider Nation for at least a month. At least a month, if not damn near the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
I mean, he was the topic of conversation after the first loss. Like, can this guy do it? I mean, even when we were winning, I don't know if anybody really had a lot of confidence in the kid, but I think we were all hoping.
Well, I mean, the first two games, we were dynamic in the fact that, okay, well, the Titan game was really close, but it was a slugfest. But we've had close games with the Titans the last couple years, so that was expected. We blew out the Jets, and everybody was just jumping around. Remember, old boy, Marshawn Lynch is dancing on the sideline, whipping it up, and everything's great in Raider Nation.
Everything was happy.
Yeah.
The world was all good. It was sunshine and rainbows.
Yeah.
And
then you go to the nation's capital.
Oh, God.
And you lay an egg. And again, because I am trying to be a professional, I'm going to try not to swear. Because you shite thine bed, at least Old English swearing, in the nation's capital in front of everybody on a Sunday night. I missed the Star Trek episode. I should have been watching the very first episode of the new Star Trek. And I said, no. I'm going to watch the game. You know, I've recorded the Star Trek episode. I haven't come back to it yet, and I need to go and get that CBS stuff. It was definitely a better game on.
It couldn't have been as bad as the game, because the game was terrible. And it wasn't only the fact that we played like absolute garbage. And I like to use the term "piss down our leg" on national TV.
That's a good one.
And it's not only that, but it was the kneeling before the game, kneeling. Carr didn't kneel, they kneeled. So, you know, some guys didn't kneel, some guys kneeled.
Actually, I think in the Sports Illustrated, I saw the picture. Carr didn't kneel, Lee Smith did not kneel, Morrow and James did not kneel. They both stood up as well. So it wasn't just the fact that all the black guys were kneeling, because again, James and Morrow were standing up as well.
Yeah, that wasn't the case either. But it was a bad look. We were the ones that did it on national TV when the world was watching. Sunday Night Football, it's a different time slot, because people will watch that game that might not watch another game the entire freaking week. But they'll turn it on and be like, oh, there's some football on, honey. Look at this. Oh, it's the Raiders and the Redskins. Didn't they play in the Super Bowl once?
Yeah,
Let's watch this game.
Yeah,
and so you got those kind of folks watching, and it's just a bad look. It's a bad look.
That game definitely wasn't a 38-9 affair here in Tampa. No. That was the debacle in the D.C.
Yeah, it was something. And it was, because I talked about it all offseason, that the mojo of the team was just so great through the offseason. It seemed like we were making all the right moves. Everybody was happy. It was all good vibes, till right when training camp got ready to start, and then Penn held out.
I was going to say, if you didn't say it, I was going to say, everything's fine and dandy until
it just
Penn
seemed
wants
like
some more money.
It seemed like the drama started to sink in. So, but who got us to where we are now?
It did.
But so Coop is out.
Coop's out.
Going back to injuries, Coop is out. We're beat up at tight end coming into this
I was going to say,
game.
It's actually, that's not the worst of our worries, because our number one receiver, Jared Cook, and I got the stats right here, Cook is the number one receiver. This year he has 621 yards, leading Crabtree by a good 60, okay? When your tight end is your number one option, and actually that's the good thing in the fact that we needed to use the tight end more, and that Carr is at least throwing it to Cook, which that's the good thing.
Yeah.
But when your number one receiver is out, and then your number 3 receiver in Cooper is out, and oh, by the way, your other pass-catching tight end, Wolford, is out, you got an issue in Raider Nation.
You got a hands issue. Like, who's going to have the hands out there catching the damn ball? That's a problem.
I don't know about that. I'm not part of the Raider staff, but I would expect Pharaoh Brown from the practice squad, the really tall, lanky tight end, to be called up. That's just me being the player personnel guy.
Somebody's got to fill this.
You got to have an extra tight end because Smith is going to be there. Basically, he's going to be your outlet. I think he has like 60 yards catching all year. He's an outlet. He's nothing major, okay? But you need another tight end, okay? You can't go a whole game without, just one tight end, okay? And I don't know whether any of the offensive tackles have played tight end before, but I'm not going to even go there, okay?
No.
And the other receivers are too skinny to be a tight end, okay? So Pharaoh Brown, in my estimation, will get a call-up this week to be on the regular squad. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but, mark it down here. I said it first.
Yeah, it's a definite distinct possibility. Like you said, Lee Smith is not. He's more of a. They use him in blocking.
Yes.
As he's more of a blocker. He can catch. The hell, his 60 yards probably came on like 2 plays. I don't know how many receptions it was to get those 60, but I know he hasn't had too many this season.
Quite a few to get the 60 because he's not used very often.
I know he had the one big play, and that was probably.
Well, last week he had the big play in the fact that they had a pass interference call against him. Granted it wasn't yards for him, but it was one of the longest games one of the longest games we had all week in that game was that play.
God, that was a bad game. I've tried to block it from my memory. No. It was.
We'll try not to think about it, but remember.
I've tried to move on.
Remember, the bad thing was everybody was 6-6. Kansas City, Oakland.
Yep.
I'm not saying San Diego, Los Angeles Chargers, 6-6. Those two teams are now 7-6. And we are a game back. But at least one of those teams is going to lose this week because, again, on Saturday night, the Chargers play in Kansas City. And I think they said the best thing for us is for Kansas City to win. I believe if you do all of the playoff ramifications, playoffs.
I'm talking playoffs.
Who's talking playoffs? I just want to win a game.
They're saying
It's still possible.
We have a 57% chance of making the playoffs if we win out.
You got to win out.
So that's not even a great chance of making the playoffs, and you have to win all 3 games too.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be a gimme road even if we win them all. We have backed ourselves in a corner. You have to have help. We have to have the right scenarios fall into place now for us to make it.
Yeah,
we took destiny out of our own hands.
And it starts with Kansas City beating San Diego so that they are a game with us, okay? And then we would have to, I said it, San Diego.
I catch myself slipping all the time.
Los Angeles Chargers, the Chiefs got to beat the Chargers, and if they beat the Chargers and we beat the Chargers at the end of the year, then that would give us, because we would figure we would have the same record with their loss. That one win over them would mean that they're behind us and for that tiebreaker. And, it all comes down to tiebreakers. Basically, the only way that we're going to be in the playoffs is we got to win the division. We got to win the division.
Yeah, we're not getting a wild card.
No
we're
wild
not
card.
Get it.
Again, mathematically, yes, it is so feasible,
Possible,
but it basically means
either.
everybody else has to lose. We have to win out, okay? It pretty much ain't going to happen. So got to get the division, and the first thing that has to be done. And actually, when we do the game halftime this Sunday, I know that the commission is going to do his halftime show. I'll be doing a halftime show. You got some fan.
We got T-Well. We got T-Well coming. He hasn't been on for a while. He's our resident pinata here at Raider Reaction. We like to bring him on so you guys can all beat him with a stick.
Yeah.
So we're gonna drag him on. Probably pregame, and depending how things are going at half, I may bring him on at half. Maybe. Yeah. Or we may have the captain on at half. We'll play it by ear.
Either way.
We'll play it by ear.
Either way.
Because
I'm going to be in my house studio. You're going to be here.
Yeah. So,
we'll do something.
Because if we're kicking their teeth in at half, I'm going to want to drag him on. But I may not be able to get him on is the problem. See, that's the thing. Is depending on how the game goes, and I might if it's bad, I don't want to listen to his mouth either. So
Exactly. If it's a close game, that would be...
Yeah, if it's a close game, then it'll be good halftime banter. But other than that, I might want to reach this screen and choke him, or he might want to do the same. So
I don't know the dude, so, ain't no skin off my nose. But you know what? Even though I'm very stuffed up right now, I can still smell the nastiness of that Cowboy fan.
Yeah, he is nasty. Don't get me wrong. But like I said, he's a resident pinata, and he's been around for a while. And we do like to beat on him.
Well, he serves a purpose.
He serves a purpose. He helps take out aggression. So
Well, that's that pinata aspect.
Exactly. You need something to beat on. So, do you want to get into some stats on this game,
Yeah,
Captain?
yeah. I tell you what, just in case you were wondering, okay, I got the stuff that's basically the important. I ain't gonna bore you with everything, but here's the thing: the Raiders and the Cowboys are basically pretty much even Stevens as far as their stats. It's gonna be a tight game if you go just by stats. First stat that you need to know about is Zeke Elliott ain't playing, in case you haven't figured that one out, okay? He comes back next week, which is good because Zeke had the majority of their yards rushing. I didn't even put his yards down because it doesn't matter how many yards he has because he's not playing, okay? The one good thing for the Cowboys is that Alfred Morris, the kid that they got from the Redskins, has been running very well, 485 yards this year. And, it's amazing. Their number 2 rusher is Dak Prescott with 288. So, if your quarterback is your number 2 rusher, and again, this is without Elliott's stats in there, okay? So, yeah, Elliott has, I think, about 800 yards or so. Okay, so again, throw those stats out.
He's back next week?
Next week
he's back. Because I still think that was a bad move for them, dragging that suspension. They should have took it out of the gate. Because now you've lost one of your best guys in the playoff run. It's just I thought it was so stupid too. You weren't gonna win.
Jerry Jones.
You can't fight the man.
Hey, by the way, do you guys know that the Cowboys are the only team in football who has a separate contract for their apparel? I know this because I work at a sports store. Everybody else, all 31 other teams, when they do their Nike contract, it's all in one fell swoop. That the Raiders and everybody else, there's 31 teams. If you want your Nike apparel, it goes to them. But if you want your Cowboys apparel, they're special. They have their own system to get their stuff. So what does that tell you? That the man just thinks so much about the Cowboys. Now, I tell you, I'll give him this. The Cowboys apparel is the number 1 seller in the United States. Okay? Raiders are up there in the top 5, I will say. But that'll just tell you something about how Jerry Jones thinks about his team, being the fact that there's only the Cowboys and 31 other teams. Used to be it's the Raiders and 31 other teams. But Jerry Jones, hey, that's what I'm going to say about that. But as far as other stats, okay, the receivers, obviously, Dak is going to be relying on Dez Bryant. That's his number 1 catch person. 712 yards, followed by Williams. But again, his outlet and his security blanket is the man, Witten. And Witten has 457. The other thing is that when you go into like the other receivers of consequence, you got Beasley, and then you got some dude named Bryce Butler. Might be somebody you would remember. The fact that he was a Raider and we traded him.
Have you seen it? Because I posted it on the page.
Yeah, I saw it.
And boy, did that got a rise out of Raider Nation. The comments on that were freaking hilarious. They kept me laughing all day long.
In case you don't know, or you're crawling up from the rock you've been sleeping under the last couple of days, okay? Bryce Butler says that if he scores a touchdown, he's going to jump into the black hole.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I want to see.
Yeah, I want to see whether he comes out of the black hole if he scores a touchdown. Because, I'll take the odds of all the boys down there.
They'll be tossing bones of Bryce Butler back out of the black hole.
Yeah,
they will be clean bones thrown of Bryce Butler back out. It wouldn't be ugly. It'd be like like Roger Rabbit when they dipped that guy in the.
Well, the
then he
piranhas.
just
Yeah.
disappeared. That's
Yeah.
kind of what it'd be like. Bryce Butler would just disappear into the black hole, and
Go-
you'd never see him come back.
The
he's
piranhas to
just
the black
gone.
hole. That's it. I tell you what, it'd be my boy Gorilla Rilla, be my boy Grim Raider. It'd even be Off the Hook out there, although I think she's in the other area. He goes anywhere near any of the fans that we know
Yeah,
are
it
just
won't be good.
they're gonna debone him.
It would not be
Debone
good.
him.
It would not be good.
No.
So it was nice. Nice bulletin board.
Oh yeah, good stuff.
Good stuff to get the Raiders hyped up a little bit, because the D-backs, because they need anything to fire their ass up. Please, I hope that worked.
Well, yeah, we'll see. Now the Cowboys, the last 5 games, okay, the last 2 they've won convincingly, but they've beaten a very bad Redskins team. And he'd beaten a horrid Giants team. And you guys know about that because we just beat a horrid Giants team. So those are the 2 wins at the tail end. But the first 3 on that 5-game span, they got shellacked. Everybody see the shellacking that the Chargers put on them on Thanksgiving Day? My stepson's a Charger fan. Unfortunately, I didn't get to him fast enough. But my stepson's a Charger fan. And, it was unique, to say the least, to watch the Chargers just kick that ass all day on Thanksgiving. Then he went home.
It was a beautiful thing.
It was.
And anytime you can sit back and watch the Cowboys get shellacked, it's good, especially on a holiday.
Yeah.
I mean,
And that's one of those games where, because if you're unless you are a Cowboy fan, okay, there are teams that pretty much everybody hates, okay, unless you're a fan of that team. The Patriots are one.
Yep.
The Cowboys are the other. Obviously, we hate everybody else in the AFC West, but the other teams, and unless you're a fan, well, true. But above all, I hate the Cowboys.
I do.
I hate the Patriots.
Cowboys, Patriots,
and I hate the Steelers. And of course,
the Steelers,
and the AFC West.
The Steelers,
and because I live in Tampa, I can't stand the Succaneers either. But then again, personal thing, because I live here. Don't one of these days, let me tell you about what the fans have done to my vehicles here that have cost me thousands of dollars in repair.
Oh,
in repair.
They refused. For everybody's branches and shit from Hurricane Irma got picked up, except for the guy with the Raider flags hanging on his garage. My wife saw them pull up out in front of our house, got out of the truck, pointed at my garage, got back in and left all my shit set out there for weeks until they were forced to finally pick it up. This dirty bastards.
This is the suckiness of living in the Tampa Bay area.
Deep behind the enemy line. This is what we deal with.
Beautiful area to live in, aside from all of the Tampa Bay Sucks fans who you have to deal with.
Yeah.
Horrible.
But it is. I love it.
But, hey.
Other than that.
As far as I said, we had a very tight game. Points per game, Dallas has us by 4 points. They've scored 24.3. We've scored 20.3. Points allowed is very tight. They've given up 22.6 and we've given up 23.4. So again, we've only given up slightly more than them. They've obviously been scoring more than us. But when you go for the yards, they have 11 more yards of total offense than we do. And yards allowed, get this, 0.3 yards allowed less than us. So it's going to come down to the defense.
Very similar.
The defenses have been playing well. Overall, since Pagano has taken over the reins from Ken Norton Jr., and that's full circle about getting back to a coordinator.
Yes.
So again, the defense has been playing well since we've gotten rid of Ken Norton Jr. Don't know what he's doing, don't care.
I don't care. I like the fact I see fire. Yes. I see guys in the backfield hitting the quarterback. We see guys moving around.
Yeah.
He's moving people. They're scheming different. They're stunting. I don't know what exactly they've changed.
They're actually. I think they've had more sacks. They've had more sacks in the last 3 games than I think they had the entire season prior.
Yes.
Of this season. I think they've had more sacks the last 3 games than they had the totals had accumulated before. I might be wrong on that, but at least it's right up there.
You're correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were correct. Since Pagano's taken over, we've had more sacks than we had the whole season prior.
Season prior.
That is a correct statement.
Now, we did talk about injuries before, and like I said, it's going to be hard with Cook out, Wolford out, and Cooper out. Also, Danico Autry is questionable. So again, and Autry has been playing like a man possessed recently. It's going to hurt.
Down balls.
I hope he plays because it's going to hurt losing him. Because honestly, Vanderdoes has not been playing great. Now, granted, he's been consuming his blocks. He's been doing what he's supposed to do by sucking up blocks, and hopefully the other, the linebackers are coming around to cleaning up. Jelly's been doing well overall as well. But again, Autry has been a force this year, so hopefully he will be playing on Sunday.
Yes.
Now, as far as Dallas, Sean Lee is questionable. Now, Sean Lee just came back last week because he was injured for many games.
Yeah, he's been out for a good stretch.
For at least like a month or so, but he came back last week. He's listed as questionable. It would be good for us if Sean Lee is out again. And again, their tackles, Tyrell Smith and Leo Collins, both of them guys are questionable. So hopefully, you never want to say, I want people hurt. But, it's always better to say, I hope that we're not getting, just like Jack Del Rio said when the over the screen when they knew that we weren't playing Eli, he was happy. He said, hey, it's better for us to play, what's his nose, Geno Smith, because we're not playing him. Same thing applies. So hopefully we'll get the benefit of the doubt on that one. We've gotten that's the stuff that really matters. Lynch has been playing well again since about, I would say, the last 4 games. I think he's getting the cycling done where he's getting used. He's playing. He's got his football shape back. Now,
I like to see him. He's get the ball. He's getting it 20+ times a game now, which I think
his averaging
he needs.
is up. Yeah, he needs it more. He needs it more. And the sprites, both Richard and D-Wash, they're in for 233, 150. Cordero Patterson has 125 yards rushing. And remember, he had that 43-yard touchdown against the Chargers the first time. And it's a good segue. I want to stop right there. We said it last week as well. You got Cordero Patterson, okay? Use him more, okay? Especially with Cooper out, okay? And throw him something other than a bubble screen.
Yeah, he's big and he's fast.
Fight for the ball.
He's tall and fast as hell. He can outrun guys on deep routes. I give him a shot. Yeah. Throw one up there.
Yeah, hell. Holton's been our deep threat. And granted, he had the one touchdown against the Broncos. He had the one other touchdown against the Dolphins. But how many interceptions and other bad plays has he been involved with? The fumble. Okay, granted, he had the touchdown where he actually broke the plane and still fumbled the ball. Okay. Holton, somebody show that man where Blitnikov's stickum is, because he needs to learn where that is, okay? And if not, Lester Hayes will probably give him some of his, okay? Again, we need to use the players we have the best way possible. And that goes to what? How do you use your players? Because you have somebody that calls the plays, don't you?
Yeah.
Todd Downing, TD.
Todd Downing. So I think we're in agreement that Todd is not going to be around after the season's over. Like Jack said, they're going to keep him around, and I've said the same thing. You don't get rid of the offensive coordinator unless you are completely throwing your season on the scrap heap.
Right.
Because you're saying it's done at that point.
Well, the other thing is that they got rid of Norton because they had a guy that could take the reins and be the defensive coordinator. Yes. Because Pagano was defensive coordinator for years. He was there.
Yeah.
There's nobody in the Raiders' house right now, okay, that can take over the duties. Don't tell me Mike Tice.
No, I know that's where everybody's going to. You're going to say Mike Tice.
No.
Hell no.
Okay. Mike Tice has enough problems trying to get this $1 million line working, because how's that working out for him? And I like Mike. That's a commercial. I like Mike. Yeah. But the thing is that Mike Tice needs to get that line working, okay? And they're starting to at least do that with Lynch. Don't tell me Mike Tyson's be your OC. It's too bad that the Raiders don't have one of those senior offensive assistants like they used to have with Al Saunders in the house, but they don't, okay? Yep. And I tell you, now we're going to talk about who could possibly take the reins as offensive coordinator. Now,
Yeah, 'cause there's your $1 million question right there. Because everybody fire. Get rid of him. Fire Todd Downing.
You need that. You need to have somebody in mind. Now, this is
Who
under the
takes the spot?
auspices that for this scenario, we're going to pretend that Jack Del Rio is still the coach. Okay, because with his contract extension, Mark Davis doesn't have enough money to go to Hooters and P.F. Chang's and still pay off Del Rio's contract, okay? Because he had that extension. He don't have the jack. He don't have the coin. He don't have the jack. I'm the jack. He don't have the coin to do that until he gets to Vegas, gets that Vegas money. He don't have the money. He's a pauper. Dude's driving around I think he's probably driving down in a van down by the river, okay? Amongst the NFL owners, Mark Davis is poor. So he's not going to get rid of Del Rio this year, in my mind. So now you're figuring out.
No, I think he's Reggie's guy too.
That's true, and that's. I think we'll say that for next week. What are we going to do with Reggie? I don't want to shoot all of it all on this episode. Offensive coordinator. Okay, there are going to be people that are fired in the NFL. Okay, couple names to be thinking about. And a couple of them are still out there. I'll give you two that are out there right now. Mike McCoy, who is a damn good offensive coordinator, okay, for both Denver and in San Diego when he was the coach running things. You know, it wasn't his fault that they were just not. You know, San Diego last year has the same players that they had this year, great players, but they were all injured last year. So it's not a surprise to me that Chargers, okay, San Diego / Los Angeles.
Chokers. We like to call them the chokers here.
I call them the garglers. Garglers, okay? Mike McCoy's out there, okay? Also, Jim McElwain, who was in the Raiders organization a couple years, I would say about a decade ago as the quarterback coach. He's out there. He's been fired from Florida. You know, I would put him out there that maybe he would come in as the offensive coordinator. Now, those are just two guys that are available now. And then you figure out who is going to be available when people get canned this year, okay?
Oh,
Jay Gruden.
The heads will roll.
Jay Gruden, possibly. Dirk Cutter here in Tampa, who already has a rapport with Del Rio from their time in either Jacksonville or Atlanta, one or the other.
And he has been good at developing quarterbacks.
Right.
I mean, he was the offensive coordinator for Matt Ryan for several seasons.
Right.
So
he might be available. Okay, don't talk to me about Hugh Jackson, because unless the Browns are lying through their teeth, and it's possible, Hugh Jackson will be the coach of the Browns. So get all that Hugh Jackson thing. And do not tell me John Gruden is head coach. Don't.
No. God, get the Gruden. I don't even want Gruden.
I'll take Jay Gruden.
I don't want John Gruden.
No.
I don't.
Great, nice guy. Signed all my stuff the other day. But I don't want... John Gruden was too conservative for his own good here in Oakland. It took Bill Callahan, who was the coach of the quote-unquote the dumbest team in America. You guys remember that one?
Yeah.
It was Bill Callahan that souped up that offense and got the offense to get to the Super Bowl. It was also Bill Callahan that couldn't figure out that they needed to do something else.
To change something, tweak something. Don't use the exact same... God.
The terminology, the calls, it sucked.
Good God.
Well, but again,
that's another game I tried to block from my memory.
Yeah, well, living down here is kind of hard.
That was the first thing I said when I found out I was moving to Tampa. I said, "Oh my God, are you shitting me?"
Yeah.
Ugh.
This is the worst place to be a Raider fan.
It is, because they own our last Super Bowl defeat to them.
That's right.
And it's the only damn one they're ever going to fucking win.
That's true.
Ever.
That's right.
And so they throw it in our face constantly.
Yeah.
It's disgusting.
And they never live in the north. They never live in the now. The last time we played the Bucks, we won.
Yes.
Okay? I said, "Oh, yeah, but we beat you in the Super Bowl."
I know.
I'm like,
God. They're one of the worst franchises in the history of the NFL.
Yeah.
They sucked forever. Then they had this one little blip of, and that's it.
Yeah.
One little heartbeat on the history of their franchise, and it was against us.
You guys
it's
don't
disgusting.
know. You guys don't know what it's like unless you live here. Trust me.
No idea.
It
sucks.
It sucks. So, again, that's just off the top of my head, okay? Offensive coordinators are going to be needed. And that gives me one more segue. We run out of time.
Oh, hell no.
Okay. The one more segue of offensive coordinators, which brings us to Derek Carr. Derek Carr, and we've said this in a bunch of our shows.
Yep.
Derek Carr this year, right now, is not the Derek Carr of last year. He has not looked the part. The man is playing scared.
I don't know if he's shell-shocked or...
Well, and that's the thing. He's not getting the support. And that's why he leads the league in 2.3 seconds for those quick openers, because he doesn't want to have his leg broken again. And remember, he still has that broken back. A lot of people forget that.
He's only got a 41 quarterback rating right now with under pressure in the pocket, and that is bad. That is jack to do with what play is called. That's just standing in the pocket under pressure and putting it on somebody. And his completion percentage last week was bad.
Yeah.
And yes, the play calling's bad, but you can still complete a pass.
Somebody told me, and I can't remember who it was, that they actually on TV, we missed it, that they saw Carr take the earpiece out of his helmet and got rid of it in the game last week.
Really? I did not see that.
Yeah, I didn't see it because when you're in a bar, again, this is what I'm hearing, that Carr took his earpiece out, basically had it where it was gone. So again, don't know if that's true. It sounds like, because remember when the first time we played Kansas City and they had the problem with the audio, Carr was doing a lot of those plays. He was calling the plays. Mm-hmm. And look how well we played as an offense. Granted, our defense couldn't stop him for crap. 31-30 shootout. Thank God at least we got our offense going. But Carr was basically calling his plays because there was a problem with the audio system. Mm-hmm. So, again, and I said, I wonder, was that when the Raiders actually scored, the 2 times, granted, against the soft zone. But
yeah.
So they were clicking. They were clicking.
They got something moving. They did. It obviously it was way late in the game, but there's still points on the board.
Yeah.
There's still points on the board, and they did get something going, but I agree. It's Carr. I've been talking about it all week. Carr is I just don't know. He's a conundrum for me. I don't understand what the issue is with Carr, because it seems logical to try to point it to the offensive coordinator, but I can't dump everything on the offensive coordinator, because he's not the guy that stands out there and is having problem under pressure. He doesn't seem like when he feels it's starting to close in, he's getting the happy feet.
Yep.
And he doesn't stand and fire like we've been saying for weeks. He's not confident in the pocket. His pocket presence it doesn't seem like it's there to me.
And I would say how many throws this year that it's off the back foot, a lot of air underneath it.
The floaters. What's with these floaters lately?
There's no zip. Last week when he had Crabtree for a touchdown, and he threw it behind Crabtree because he was back. He threw it off his back foot, and it was short. It hit the Kansas City guy. Crabtree was trying to come back for it. Mm-hmm. This is Derek Carr this year. And again, we're probably not going to see the Derek Carr of last year until next year.
It's a good possibility. I hope he can come around, but I've been waiting every week now, Captain, for to flip the switch, and then all of a sudden, our team was moving again. So
the switch needs to be flipped in the fact that okay, I'm going to say that P word again. Statistically, the playoffs are not necessarily a foregone conclusion.
No,
okay,
it's possible still.
It's possible. Now, granted, I'm not a betting man, so I'm definitely not laying any money on it. And
like I said, 57% possibility of making the playoffs.
Yeah.
And that's winning all 3 games.
Well, I have a 57% chance of going to the restroom tonight. It's better than half, but that's not saying that, it's going to be a sure thing. Yeah, I'm being facetious, but barely over 50%, You know, it's actually like I was looking at the one website today, and there's got to be a lot of Raider fans hitting this website because they were saying that the Raiders picking for the game was like 51% over the Cowboys 49. Okay, because you know, a lot of Raider fans are hitting that site. Yeah, we're gonna win. We're gonna win. We're gonna win. It's gonna be a tight game either way. So we'll see.
Don't worry about Joseph Popeye. We just gave him the hook. He's gone. He's out of here. I seen your trolling ass in the comments. Don't think I wasn't watching. Now you're gone. Goodbye.
Which one was that?
I don't know. It was some troll in the comments was.
Oh, okay.
How about our team was losing? There'll be no Raider Nation when we're gone, and all this. I caught you.
Was his name Craver by any chance?
No.
That guy.
No, it was Joseph something or other.
Okay.
But he's Joseph not on this page anymore. So
yeah, his name is Muhammad. He ain't working here no more.
Get out of here.
That's it.
Get out of here.
That's it. Well, we got trolls.
Oh, I don't mind a good troll. But what's our number one rule? What's our number one rule on Raider Reaction? If you're going to come in here and you're going to step in and you're not a Raider fan and you want to talk some shit, you got to bring the fire. You step in, you announce who you're a goddamn fan of, and then you can talk shit all you want. But you can't come in here, not represent, and step up and say who you are and sit there and talk smack when you're obviously on a Raider page full of Raider fans right here. So you know you're already not necessarily welcome. But we'll take you if you've got some solid banter, because as long as you bring the fire and stick to rule number one, we'll allow it. But
you know, I have my number one thing is ignorance. Okay, I don't mind having a good conversation with anybody, and when you guys that actually get a chance to on my page when I do conversations on Facebook, I'll have a conversation, but don't be ignorant. Don't be ignorant. Don't just say. Have your facts straight, okay? Don't say, well, because I said so type of stuff, or you don't know what your facts are, okay? If you're going to have an argument, at least have your facts straight. Ignorance, my what is it? My threshold of the thing going kaboom, okay? The thread.
The shit tolerance. My shit tolerance
is like this, okay? If you're an ignorant F, I have no time for you. It makes my blood boil. People that know me know that as well.
So, but then, of course, as you all know, if you watched the show before, we will allow you to stay. But if your ass is one of these teams on the kiddie table and you're in Raider Reaction, you know the rules. You can be seen but not heard, because your ass has never raised the Lombardi Trophy. So if you would like to stay, it's fine. Just like the family reunion. You can sit your ass at the kiddie table and be seen but not heard. It's grown folks talking.
I like that. The kiddie table.
Just like the family reunion.
Okay.
It's all the unfortunate poor bastards that have never won a Lombardi Trophy. Because you all sit at the kiddie table at any football conversation. Because you really have nothing you can say. I mean, what's a Browns fan going to say? What's a Bengals fan going to say?
Oh, actually, I know what a Browns fan is going to say. Well, we won the All-American Football Conference all those times, and we were the best team. And if it wasn't for the AAFC bringing in the Browns and the 49ers, and that's where we get the 49ers.
How many teams were there back then?
Oh, boy. I think they had like a conference of 6, and they brought in, I think it was like 8, and they brought in half of them. That's why we have to deal with the 49ers, because they were members of the All-American Football Conference, and the Browns and the Niners were the teams that actually were the winners in that league, and the NFL sucked up the good ones.
Oh, let me answer Bob's question, because we've just been flying through. For those of you that are just joining us, you're wondering who this gentleman is sitting with me here. This is the captain, Captain Jack Rackham, and I am the Commish, and now on every Thursday night, we are going to have the Raider Nation Ricochet, where we just bounce everything off of each other and off of you guys. So we'll answer comments, we'll try to watch your stuff, and answer any great comments, questions you guys got.
You're going to have to do the because I'm old and my eyes suck, so
I will watch the comments.
Okay.
And I'm watching for your damn trolls, too, dude. My troll radar is always up.
I got it. I'm a little older than this gentleman here, although I have more hair.
He does have more hair than me.
That's okay.
Yes, yeah. I was not graced with the
no
the good gene for.
No worries.
I was graced with the gene for male pattern baldness, unfortunately. But yeah, I'm not going to be one of those guys. I would not be one of those guys that you can see the scalp through the hair. Oh no. Yeah. When it started to go, that shit's gone. So I prefer to call it shaved.
Yeah.
Because I'm not fully bald. It's just shaved. This is a choice.
Yes.
Yes. I'm going with that.
And those that know me, the only reason why I got a haircut, because you guys know me, my hair was always down to about here, past my shoulders. Well, because I'm trying to get a gig in the broadcast industry, I have to play corporate rules. Okay? So if and when that happens, the hair's coming back. So don't worry about it. I know a bunch of folks saying, Captain, we love your hair. So if you see me when I'm dressed up or whatnot, until my hair grows back, I will have my hair. I got a wig. Because the captain will be in full regalia, looking the way he should be, and I'll be wearing a wig. Because I just got to be the captain that way.
There you go. So if you haven't caught us, the last 3 weeks we've been together live on location at our halftime shows. Although the next two games are prime time, and it's an 8:30 kickoff on our time. Yeah. So obviously the halftime shows are late, and the one is on Christmas Day. So we'll probably get back together and do a halftime show for the finale.
Oh, definitely for the finale.
Yeah. And so that'll be our next halftime show together, because the next two are going to be prime time. But every Thursday night we're going to do the Raider Nation Ricochet right here with the captain and myself. So we will be back together next Thursday, so we hope you guys join us again. Now, tomorrow, as you all know, every Friday on Raider Reaction is Black Friday, and we have the Silver and Black Theater. Tomorrow, we will have another Raider Classic dusted off, another full game for you, so you can end your Friday night on a Raider victory and enjoying some Raider touchdowns on your Friday night. That's how we do it here on Raider Reaction. And then now on Saturday night, we got BC Raider with his Week 15 hype show, midnight Eastern, 9 o'clock Pacific, to get you ready for the Cowboys the next day. So we got the hype show, and then I will be, I'm going to do a little pregame, a little halftime action, and then postgame, Captain's going to be doing the same thing on his page. So you've got all kinds of Raider flavor all over the place for weeks to come.
At least through the end of the year.
Yep. So we'll as always, we'll keep the trying to paint the world silver and black right here on Raider Reaction. That's how we do it. That is our mission statement. So, what do you want to finish up with, Captain? We've got about 10 minutes left. If anybody's got any big questions, throw them up in the comment box, and we will try to field them.
Fire away.
Because we've got about 11 minutes left of show. So if you've got any questions, we will field them now, as we've tried to kind of field them anyway. I think we've hit most of your points as we were going through anyway. But honestly, take away the stats, take away everything else, Captain. How do you personally feel about our chances this weekend at home against the Cowboys?
I'm going to tell you, Commish, what I tell everybody, okay? And this is so true. The Raiders have the capability to win the next 3 games. They have a decent team. The team that was 12-4 last year, granted, it's regressed, okay? But if you go from 8-8, they're a better than average team even last year, when even if you take some of those victories away, it was an 8-8, 9-7 team. That still means that they are average to better than average, and I still think that we would have been a 9-7 team had we not gotten all of the breaks that we had last year, okay? And then, of course, Carr went down and the world went to hell, okay? The team is available, they are capable, and they can do this. The question always is, which team is going to show up?
That is the question.
I don't know, because we saw all of the good games this year against the Jets, the first game against Kansas City. Even when we lost in Denver, I was at that game, the Raiders showed up, And if it wasn't for Cook dropping 2 touchdowns
Yes.
in his breadbasket, we would have
so
won that
pissed
game too. Okay, the Raiders are capable. Okay, they played like crap in a bunch of games this year where they didn't come out with any fire. Last week against the Ravens at home, of course in D.C.,
Mexico City.
Oh my! I had forgotten Mexico City. You reminded me again about how awful it is.
That was as bad as the Kansas City game, in my opinion. That was just a flat game all the way. But I almost think the Kansas City game was worse.
Yes, I think so too. Because,
I think it was a more flat performance
across
the board.
Here's the thing. A lot of people are, not that and the Raiders are scared of any team. They're not. But you guys knew that with the Patriots getting every call that they're going to get in the book during that game, it was going to be a hard game. It was 11 on 22. Okay? The 11 on the other side, and then I think there's 10, maybe 11 on 21. Okay? 10 officials. Okay? The Raiders play that way. It's always our 11 against their 11 and the 10 zebras that are out there.
Yeah, we got to play by Raider rules. Everybody else plays by a different freaking rule book than we play by.
But the thing was, like last week was something the Raiders knew. All they had to do was beat Kansas City, and it would have set them up for the rest of the year. And they came out so flat. Excuse me. It wasn't even, in fact, it was concave. They would have had to improve to be flat. And we can't have that.
It was bad.
Yeah.
And I heard everybody complain about the defense, and the defense was not good. But your defense isn't going to be good when you can't ever sustain a drive and keep them off the field. So it's...
If the defense is going to be out there all the time, and the fact that they're only scoring field goals, that's a win.
Yeah,
it's a win.
That game could have been a lot worse than it was. It could have been a lot worse than it was because we were giving them the ball in great field position damn near every time.
And then when we drove and Carr had the pick, we were driving down the field and Carr throws that oops ball that Crabtree couldn't get. It was picked off. We were driving. That could have been a touchdown there. Yep. Okay? Couple different plays. I think I read an article for last year, that if you take like 5 different plays from the games from last year, we could have been beyond 12-4. But then again, those 5 different plays are what made us 12-4.
Mm-hmm. Yep. 5
plays in the entire year is what made us 12-4. The year before that, 5 plays made us 7-9. If you look at how different plays are important in the overall aspect of the game. Go back to the game against the Patriots when
it was the fumble.
The fumble. And the other thing was that they didn't call a pass interference against Crabtree in the end zone because the guy was face guarding him. No call.
We talked. That was our first halftime show together, and that we talked about that. That was by far the pivoting point of the game because that was a 10-point swing.
Yeah,
we were at least getting 3 there, and you go from
14 to 7.
If we'd got the penalty, it'd have been 1st and goal on the 1. We're probably going to score.
Yes,
and if we're at least going to get 3, we probably could have got 7. Instead, they get points.
0 points. They get a long field goal at the end,
and they get the ball after half. Score. Game's over.
Game's over.
Game's over. Now we had to quit the running game, which was doing well in the first half.
They were running well.
Lynch had was averaging 6 yards a carry that game, had 61 yards, and then we couldn't give him the ball anymore. Because when you're down 24 points, there's no more running game. It's gone.
The game this week is going to be predicated upon making sure that our offense drives the ball down the field. Heavy on the run, using Lynch well, but I'm telling you as well, Downing, throw on first down once in a while.
And Jack said they're going to let it rip this week.
Well, I hope
the hell they do.
Okay, letting it rip maybe might be a pass beyond the 3 yards from the line of scrimmage. Hopefully, it's at least 5 yards from the line of scrimmage. Bubble screens are nice, but not when everybody knows when you have 3 receivers to your one side, you're going to throw a bubble screen. Everybody knows
You
that.
need 10 yards, so let's throw it behind the line of scrimmage, shall we? Oh, my God. Or throw a 2-yard out. Come on.
Use Patterson. Use Holton. Use Roberts. Run sluggos. Run slants. Run double moves. Do something constructive. Okay? You do that, you play the game, you keep Dak off the field, and you know the like I said, the defenses statistically are about the same. You get the offense playing for the Raiders well, we will win this game. It all depends upon which team shows up.
Yeah, I agree. I still believe. I think we can win this game. Like I said, there has never been a freaking game ever that my team has ever lined up for a kickoff, and I did not think there was a way that we could win the game. There is always a way you can win the game. That is the beauty of sports. Miracles happen every goddamn day in sports. Every day you hear an announcer say, well, I've never seen that before. Because it happens. Every day in sports, miracles happen. This is the beauty of sports. That's why we love it. You never know what you're going to see when you sit down to watch a game. So to not have faith in our team, yes, they're struggling. Yes, they're not playing well. But God damn it, I believe we can beat the fucking Cowboys this week.
That's right.
I believe 100% we can beat them.
And you know what? I hate Cowboy fans, too.
With a passion.
Because, my God, all they talk about is Cowboys.
Oh, they're
Cowboys
so fucking obnoxious. They're in their rings.
I work with them, too. There's nothing I want more because the opportunities to rub it into Patriots fans, that opportunity is gone. The opportunity to rub it into Kansas City fans I work with, that opportunity is gone. Yep. I got one more opportunity this year.
This one. We don't play them every year.
That's
so we
right.
can carry this one for a while.
Every 4 years, man. And oh, by the way, this is the first time we played the Cowboys in Oakland because the last 2 times we played the Cowboys were both on Thanksgiving. So, again, this is, 4 years ago on Thanksgiving in Jerry's world. 4 years prior to that, on Thanksgiving was the very first Thanksgiving there. I was there at that game. Of course, security was, that's another game we'll have to talk about.
I wanted to go. Security. I was supposed to be at that game. Well, you know what that sound means, Raider Nation? That means we ate up an hour of your evening. And we appreciate any freaking second you took to spend with us. This was our premiere in-studio show, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I thought it went very well, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, we always appreciate any second you spend with us on Raider Reaction because the second you spend with us is the second you're not doing something else. So it must mean we're doing something right. So thank you for stopping in. New, old, our band of pirates. Thank you, as always. Give him a closing. Yarn! We'll see you tomorrow for Black Friday. I'm out. Peace, love, Raider Nation!